Hello and welcome everyone to the Space Wolves rework and new cards that went out live today. Um, I have to say I'm pretty excited to play them since they seem really aggressive and I like aggressive factions. But anyway, let's talk about um the warlords first. Then we go through all the new cards they have. Uh, Actually, some of the cards that they already had are still there, like the mission or Hamtal Squad. Um, so let's start with Gagor. Gagor pack gains cleave 1 on the next attack, and for 2 energy draw a troop. Medium initiative. I don't think it's going to be that strong. Uh, Drawing the troop is nice. They don't have a lot of card draw actually, but still, I think it lacks a little bit of the strength of the other two warlords and the aggressiveness. I guess it's not that bad if you can get like two troops attacking and it gets cleave 2. But still, I don't know. I really don't like the guy. I think he's a little bit too situational. Like if you want just cleave, you can play the World Eater guy, and if you want to draw troops, you can also play the World Eater guy. So yeah, I don't think he will see that much play, at least at the beginning. On the other hand, I think Farl Red Blade, I think it's really good. So he has Berserk, 30 HP to attack, Hunt, deal 1 damage to random enemy, and for 2 energy he gains Bloodthirst and heals 2. So the fact that he gains Bloodthirst, it's more, I think, of a debuff actually than a buff, because you gain 2 health and then you have to smack because he has Berserk. But still, high initiative, very aggressive warlord. Like if you smash the head, is going to deal 3 damage almost every time you hit the warlord. Um, so I think it's good. Like Space Wolves are a very, I think, aggressive faction right now, and uh, having an high initiative warlord that also has a buff to damage can heal a little bit. It's not that bad at all. Um, I think his guy is not that bad. And then we have Limarras. So he has a Reckoning. The Reckoning starts at 22, I think. Yeah, 22. And gives -1 cost for every damage enemy at the start of your turn. This includes the enemy warlord. So absolutely you want to smack and play aggressive. I don't think it's that easy to proc the Reckoning. But still, if the game goes longer, like you're almost certainly going to trigger it. And transformation, yeah, we will talk about the transformation later. Let's go to the warlord actually. So he's a little bit like Sanguinius. Like you have Hunt, gives +1/+0 to adjacent troops until your next turn. So the difference with Sanguinius is that you have to hit something that has to survive, but also keeps the buff for the next turn, and the active ability gains ward until your next turn. So the active ability is just so bad, like it's you can even take this out, it is the same. But the thing is that like the amount of pressure this guy can put on the board is actually interesting. About the Reckoning, I really don't think it's that good. Like it's 3 attack Berserk and has +1/+0 for each damage enemy, so it's like a 4 attack. But he has Berserk. Yeah, I don't think this is that good. Like there are so many better transformation the Wolf King. But still, I think Lemon Russ is going to be good, at least good. Um, I think maybe Varl has a little bit more aggression because of their initiative, but still 40 HP Warlord is still something to look about, especially when they're aggressive. Like I think they are really good. The problem is that it always starts with one less card, so this is a little bit of a problem, I think. But it seems pretty good. I honestly really don't like the art, I have to say. But apart from that, I really like the design of Lemon Russ and Red Blade. I don't really like Gaegor, I have to say, but maybe time will prove me wrong. So Haldo Squad Rally gives +1/+0 to friendly unit this turn. Mediocre, like I don't think you want to really play this unless you're playing maybe hyper aggressive kind of deck. But usually one drops are not that good. Also, it's a 2/1. Um, it can be decent, but I don't think it's great. Preternatural senses. All enemies lose stealth and precognition. Um, so the point is, like you are losing a card because of this, while there are some other cards, in particular Urban Warfare, that actually don't make you lose cards and take out stealth. I don't think this is worth playing at all, unless when Thousand Sons come out, precognition is going to be a huge factor, and in this case, yes, you will be playing this card as a one-off, maybe one of this and one Urban Warfare. Balder Squad Hunt, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. I think this card is really good. Like as a 2-drop, stat line is fine, ability is good, so I think this will see play 100%. Black Blood. Give frontline and war to a friendly troop. Okay, this card I don't think has any purpose, and is actually pretty bad. Like if it maybe draw also a card, could be interesting to include, but otherwise no thank you. Fenrisia Stormbird, deal 2 damage to all damaged enemies. It's like a reverse, what's the name of the card of the Ultramarine? Opening Salvo. Like reverse of Opening Salvo. It's not bad. It's not great. I think maybe you can include 1 copy. Maybe 2 if you're playing hyper aggressive. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe 1 copy is fine. But there are also some other kind of good board clears, so I don't really think this is worth including. Iron Fenris was already there, Emptal Squad was already there. Legendary item. Oh, this card is good. Pack gains +1/+0 until your next turn, 1/4 for 2 energy. This card is really good. Like, you play this on turn 1, attack with Lemon Russ. This is a 3/4 on turn. Like, it's so hard to kill. Even if they kill it, they're going to take 3 damage. Next turn, same stuff, like you're going to smack for 3. So this guy 100% will see play. We're Fang Outriders. Flank, Hunt. All enemies lose stealth. I want to like this, but it's not a reliable stealth 8. It's like something that sometimes happens, and I don't really know how much I like this kind of cards. Like 3/1, it's going to kill a lot of stuff, so it's not that easy to proc the Hunt, and if you want a flanker, there are some better options. So I don't know, I would probably skip on this one unless stealth becomes really prevalent. Bestial Savagery, give Berserk and +1/+1 to a friendly Astartes for its damage enemy. So in the medium case scenario, this gives +2/+2 and Berserk, which is not actually a good thing. A +2/+2 for 3 energy is kind of bad. So yeah, I wouldn't say that Bestial Savagery is that great. I think the old card they had, oh, where is it? Curse of the Wolfen was way better. Like this already gives +2/+2, but also gives Survivor 1. And I don't really think it's the same thing. Like this is situational. Of course, this is always going to get +1/+1. But if you're playing against solo warlord, like you really want to put 3 energy into giving your troop +1/+1 and Berserk? No, no, no. I don't think so. Like this card, I really don't like it. Gnil Pack. Ward, great. Rally, gain +1/+1 for each damage enemy. So, in the worst case scenario, this is a 4/3 ward for 3 energy. Not bad. But it can become maybe 5/4 is kind of plausible. Beyond that is just I think situationally you're going to have a Gnir squad bigger than a 5/4, but still not bad. Like this card, I like this card. Aggressive, inexpensive, can be kept for the late game if you're playing against a deck that or a player that keeps a lot of damage stuff on the board. Like I always do that, so I need to adjust my playstyle in order to avoid this card from being too strong. But I don't think it's bad. Howl of Morkai, give can't attack to all damaged enemies until your next turn. This is not bad. I like this kind of cards that give can't attack, because it's not easy to take out a can't attack. Like the only way is gem, and this is going to always stop the enemy warlord basically, and some other troops. You can also damage a troop and then immobilize like all of his board, and you can keep smashing. So I don't think it's that bad. Maybe one copy is fine in almost every Space Wolves aggressive decks. Cauldron Hunters, Ward, great. Pack, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I think this card is great. I would play that for sure if when I will collect enough Space Wolves card. I think this card will be in a 2 of in every deck, I think, because they really want to attack, right? So like with Lemarras, this is a 4/3 when it comes in, and actually this 1 damage on the turn it comes in. And Ward is actually pretty big because sometimes they have like the pesky 2 damage tactics and so on. They can target this or that, and becomes harder to take these things down without face bashing. So I think this card is good. Legionary Hruga, your warlord has +1/+0 during your turn. Pretty good. Also the stat line is not bad. Maybe 3/3 was better, but still 2/4 is not bad. Yeah, they have great 3-drops, I have to say. Lord of Winter, give +1/+1 in war to all friendly troops. Okay, so instead of playing this one, just play this. Like, it's way better. Unless you have only 1 troop and they have like 3 damaged guys on the board. This card is almost always better, I think. Sergeant Ingvar, Unstoppable Pack, gains flank. This card is not bad. Like, I thought it would be worse. Then after playing with Space Wolves a little bit in the event, I think it's not bad at all. Like, they kind of like flankers because they synergize with the pack ability, and I think this is a good inclusion. Also, it's cheap and has 4 or 5 attack with Rush. Take out most things for 3 energies, not bad. And also is unstoppable. This is a very big thing. And also you have to remember that you can almost always trigger the pack just with attacking with the warlord, unless you already stunned. So I think it's a worth inclusion. Varl squad, hunt, draw a card. Um, Still, again, like their 3 drops are really strong, and I think this card is good. Like uh, drawing is almost always going to benefit you in a hard way, harder than damage, I think, especially with Lemon Rush, because he has 1 less card. So I think this is another card that is worth including in almost every deck. The problem is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 troops, and I already want all of these into of, but I think it's a little bit too much. Then we have Void Wolf. Draw 2 tactics from your deck. They cost 1 less this turn. So the point is that it draws you 2 cards, and they cost less. But I really don't think like there is that much that you want to. There is not much you can combo it with. Like you can combo it with Arvus Lighter, but then yeah, I don't really get the point of this card. Maybe there is something I'm missing, but I don't think it's worth including it. Like you already have a pretty tight 3-drop curve. Winter Gale, deal 3 damage to an enemy and 1 to adjacent units. This card is great. Reminds me of the Sisters of Silence card that also costs 3 energy, but I think there's 2 damage and 1 to adjacent. So this card is even better. And yeah, it's just good. Apothecary Thorfinn, pack, heal 1 to a friendly unit. I assume it's random. I did not picked up this guy in the event. It's not bad. It's not even great. Like I think there are better cards to play it for energy. But it's not bad. Like the stat line is a little bit weak on the like tankier side of the spectrum, but yeah, not great, not bad. Freaky, first legendary except for the Primarch. Flank, hunt, heal completely against +2/+0. This guy is amazing. As soon as you see him in the shop, if you can, pick it up. 4 energy, 4/5 flank is great. The hunt is just amazing. It's an infantry. You can stealth this with some cards. You can buff it with the Secretary Axiarch. It's just a great card. Grimfang Javelin, flank, pack, gains cleave 1. I like this card. As a flanker, it's not that bad. The pack is good. Like I think it's situational. I think the other card is better, the 3-drop. But I don't see any reason why not play maybe 1 copy of this. Also because the cleave can help you chew through the enemy board. Like this comes into play, is always going to have at least cleave 1, maybe cleave 2, and with cleave 2 it becomes a really good card. With cleave 1 is okay, with cleave 3 is really good. So maybe it's worth thinking about including this. Healing Balms, heal 4 to your warlord and to adjacent troops. I wouldn't play this card, but Healing also, the addition troop for 4 is not bad. Especially because you want your troops to survive, but for energy is really a lot. It's not that bad, but I don't even think it's mandatory to include this card at all. Hunter Instincts. Your warlord gains pack, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I really don't know what to think about this card. Like, I don't think he's that good. Like, it's basically give +1 damage to all of your troops. It's +1 +0 to all of your troops on your warlord, but they have to attack. I don't know if it's worth playing with the 4 energy. Like, I think you want to keep as much stuff on the board as possible. This will not trigger on your warlord because he's the one having the ability, so the pack doesn't trigger. And if you can't proc it with the warlord, I don't think this card is really worth it. Like, if you are stuck on board, you spend 4 energy for nothing. So yeah, I wouldn't play this. Like, even if I had it, I wouldn't play it. But that's my opinion. Maybe you can try it, but like, I don't know. They don't seem to struggle that much at keeping the board, but if you're playing against a very aggressive faction, I think this card is not going to help you at all. Huskar Brannak, give flank and +1 +0 to a friendly troop. Giving flank is nice. 3-5-4-4 is okay, but doesn't do anything and also cost 1 energy, so I don't think it's good enough. Punitive Strike, play 2 with Flank Outriders, which is this card. Flank Hunt all enemies. Okay, this card is good. Like, 2 flankers for 4 energy that deal 3 damage is good. The fact that they also remove stealth completely takes this playing this card as alone out of the equation. Like, this card is just so much better. Sergeant Kargir, flank pack is 1. This was already in. About this or that as a flanker, it's hard to say. This is a little bit more survivable. This maybe has a chance to take out some hordes. Wolfgang guys played Ward for 4 and put in play 1 Baldur squad, which is the 2-3. I think this card is good. Ward protects it. The hunt is nice. Putting more stuff on the board is always a good idea. Also because the counter attack lets you heal this if you still manage to keep it. Yeah, I think this card is good. Also, maybe one of the best 4-drop they have, except for Freck, of course. Berek Iron Hacks, your other troop have flank. Statline is good. Effect is really good. The problem is that it doesn't do anything when it comes in, but apart from that, I really like this kind of card. And I think it's not bad at all. Worth considering for the list. Like, you already have a lot of flankers. But if you think you need more, this guy is okay. Also, I think there are better 5-drop though. That's Swarm Veteran. Ward, when an enemy dies, gain +1 +0. It's kind of slow, and I don't think the stat line is good enough for 5 energy. Antmaster Arnkel, Hunt, put in play 1 Barrel Squad. Barrel Squad is the 3/3 draw card. I think this card is great. Like, puts pressure, good stat line, like decent stat line. And the Barrel Squad actually is a good troop to play to put it to play because it threatens your opponent of you drawing cards. So I think this card is great. Kjarl Weirdfang, oh boy, 6/6 for 5 ward, so this guy is a nightmare to take out. And after another friendly unit attacks, deal 1/2 damage to the target. This card is amazing. This card is maybe one of the strongest 5 drops I've ever played with. Like, this card is so fucking strong. I played it with an aggressive event deck with Lemon Rush. This card won me 2 games alone. Like, you just have 3 troops on the board, like 3 to 6 damage plus your warlord to the enemy. Like, this card is so good. Like, it also triggers on the warlord, so like your warlord becomes a 4 attack 3/4 attack guy, and it's just amazing. Pale Hunters. Your units gain +2/+0 and ward until your next turn. So the fact that it lasts until your next turn is nice. 5 energy is a lot, and I don't think it's nearly as good as the World Eater card, which still is not played that much. But yeah, 5 energy for not, like, if you have an empty board, you draw this and you just want to die. But it's not that bad. Torvald Rhino. Pack, do a troop for your deck. I think this card is good. Like, 3/5 for 5 is not great at all, but the fact that you draw troop, maybe you have a troop into play, which is not impossible. You drop this, attack with your warlord, attack with the troop, you draw two cards. 2 troops actually, because this only draws troops, and you want to draw troops. And you have a 3/5 still on the board. Like, if drawing a card is 1 energy, you are paying 3 energy for a 3/5. If this survives next turn, it's going to be the same. So I think this card is really good. Ancient Otter, rarely give 10 can't attack to damage enemy until your next turn. I really like this kind of cards. It's a big boy, 7/6 for 6 energy. Has a nice rally too. I think it's a good 6 drop, maybe upper curve if you want. It's a shame that it doesn't stun. If this stuns, I mean, that would be amazing. Like Horus 2.0, it would be amazing. But can't attack is still good. Bloodhowl Veterans. This was already in. This when he took dice against Bloodthirst. This card I don't think is that good. Gary. Frontline, Ward. Your warlord is invulnerable. 5/6 for 6. Difficult to evaluate this card. I think it's like, of course, if you want, like, if you have it played, because it's generally better than the other 6 drop you have in the neutral card pool. Frontline is nice. We didn't see any frontline yet, so having some frontliners is going to help an aggressive deck against other aggressive decks. Ward is nice. Warlord is invulnerable. Like, the thing that this says frontline means that they're going to kill it before getting to your warlord, so it's not great from this point of view. But apart from that, I think it's a good card. Lets you avoid some damage when you smack maybe a troop with your warlord, and the fact that it has ward makes it really annoying to take out. Overwhelming Assault. Putting in play 3 Space Wolves Astartes that cost 3 or less. It's not bad, but like as a late game refill is not that bad. But it's so hard to evaluate this kind of cards. Like the pool for 3 energy or less is it's kind of good. Like, this is good. This maybe you can proc the flank. This is okay. This is good. This is awful. This is bad. This is not great considering it's turn 6. This is horrible, this is okay, this is terrible. So, it's kind of 50-50. I would say I wouldn't play that. Maybe one copy, but not more than one copy. But the three tops are really good. Like if you go into high roll with this, it's going to be good time. If you're going to roll to low roll, um, it's not great. But it can give you some flankers, so it's not a thing to underestimate. Stormstrider Scorpius deal 3 damage to all damage enemy. Too slow. Statler is interesting though. Thagn King's Bane. Pack. Give ++1 to your other units. I really like this card. Like, this is the late game drop for an aggressive deck. Like, it's like a Praetor Scarrock with Pack instead of attrition. And the fact is that you can actually keep smacking and your units actually get more health than they lose. And I think it's a really good thing. The only problem is that it needs something on the board in order to work. But if you have some board, this guy is going to just steamroll the game in your direction. Ancient Amber Claw, deal 1 damage to all enemies pack, 7 energy, 8-7. The pack ability is great. The problem is the cost, and the cost is really high. But the pack is really good. It really depends on how often you think you will be able to keep a board until turn 7. And when, like, if you see you can keep it, maybe you can slot in 1 copy, but I wouldn't play more than 1 copy. Ice Claw Terminators, hunt deals 4 damage to a random enemy, to slow. Spirit of Fenris, choose an effect, your roll gain +2/+0, permanent +2/+0. So it's like the Horus hammer, but without a good effect. Destroy damage enemy troops, versatile. Give +0/+5 to your units. This sucks. Well, this sucks. It depends. If you have a really big board, this can be amazing. It's versatile, but none of the effects are really that good for 7 energy. Like for 7 energy, you can have +2/+0 Ward Breaker, which give +2/+0 and stun, which is the big component of Ward Breaker. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the most interesting thing is destroy damaged enemy troops. But it doesn't seem that great to me. Tagn Ulfrich, frontline, addition to unit at +1/+0. Shame that it's a frontline, because yeah, you can buff things, but then he's going to die. It's not that bad though. Like 6-7 is not great for 7 energy, but it has frontline, so at least it protects you. It's not that bad. Logan Red Howl, Berserk Bloodthirst Word. I think it's too slow. Like, it has to be too slow. Like, no one plays the Devoured, which is not that good because it doesn't have Ward, and Ward is a incredibly underestimated ability. But still, like, I don't think it's going to change the game when you play it. Like, it does nothing to buff the board, it doesn't have flank, it doesn't have a rally, doesn't have a death trigger. It's just too slow, I think. Varagir Wolfguard, frontline, backlash heal 3, 8 energy, it's just too much, I think, for this kind of aggressive package that they have. I don't think it's going to perform that good. Grimr, frontline ward 8/8. Again, same stuff. It's not that changing the cost by 1. It's going to matter that much. The dreadnought. I refuse to pronounce the name. 9/9 for 9 ward rally attacks the enemy through with the highest attack. Okay, this card is interesting. It's actually like the other dreadnoughts from like it's just like flank, but you always hit the hardest hitting stuff, which is okay, but it also costs a lot. Also, it doesn't attack the warlord. Like if he has no troops, this is not going to attack, which I think is a shame. If it was attack the enemy with the highest attack, it would be interesting. Like it can attack face immediately, it would be amazing. Being it like this, I don't think it's great, but still you can try it. It's so expensive though. Sensor host deals 5 damage to all enemies, 10 energy. At least it's better than orbital bombardment, but it's so expensive, like 10 energy for 5 damage. I don't think it's worth playing. Frostcrow. I don't know if there is actually a way to reduce the cost by a lot. You can play the War Room, maybe this other card too, but I think it's only when you play in this turn, so you can't play it because it costs 9 plus 3 is 12. I really don't know. Nah, it's too slow. Frostcrow, 4/10 for 10. Rally, choose a space for Bastards and put in play. And if you got 3, 1 or 2 or 3 drops, what are you going to do? 4/10 for 10 without frontline, without anything. Just so bad. But this is a really bad card. And then we are done. The counterattack remains the same, which is heal to a friendly unit. I think they have a really interesting aggro package, especially with Lemarras or Farl. Like you can play 2 Baldur Squad, 2 Emtal Squad, or even forget the Emtal Squad. You can play the Legionary Isam. You can play Codran Hunters, Legionary Ruga, the Flankers, Varal Squad. Then you can go like Freki, couple of Winter's Gate for burst. You can go for the Wolfgar Iceblade, Kjarl, Antmaster Arkel, Rhino, Gary, maybe as a late game drop. And I think you just smack face as hard as you can. There are also some neutral cards that are really interesting with the pack mechanic. Like for example Vorax, which is this card. Like pack is going to trigger twice if you attack with Bloodthirst, so I think this card is interesting. You can play Secretary Axiarch, which is a really survivable troop because it has Survivor 1. I think this is especially good in Lemarras because he wants troop on the board all the time. You can play Forge Master, of course you can play, it's just a great card. You can play the since their 4-drop are a little bit lackluster maybe. You don't have that many good 4-drops. Like you have Freki and Wolfgar Iceblade, maybe the Flanker, and you have the Punitive Strike, which is not bad, but it doesn't put state troops on the board. So did we talk about this card? Maybe I forgot this. Which is destroy damage and input troop, give +1/+2 to your units until your next turn. This may be one copy is fine. It's like Coup de Grace, but instead of drawing, buff your board. It's not that bad. But yeah, the 4 drops otherwise are not so great. So you can play. Where is it? The Auxilia Flamer. You could play. I don't think you need Malkial. You can play. Let's see. You can play Strategos for sure. Like this card, 100% goes in. You can play Bloodmaster, really aggressive. Also with Lemon Rush gets even bigger, which is very funny. Dracnian you can play, even if you have good 5 drops, I have to say. So maybe, I don't know. Yeah, there are a lot of they have a lot of good cards, like especially for the early game, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards are just amazing, like really good. For the mid game, you have Reki, you have Ice Blade, you have the Flanker. Even if you want, you have the Punitive Strike, which is not bad at all. Like putting 2 3-1s with Flank is not bad for a 4 energy card. And then you have a little bit of Cardo with Overlord, Rhino, Gary. But if you can see, like you have very conditional card draw, except for the Rhino, you have the Varl Squad. Maybe you can play some like cycle cards, like Arbus Lighter or the what's it called, the Ravage City. This card, because I think they really lack a little bit of kind of okay card draw. You can play, of course, the Urban Warfare. Maybe it's even better than Ravage City. But yeah, I think they're really cool and fun faction, and for what I could see in the event, they seems kind of good. Of course, going up against other Space Wolves or Dark Angels, which are a little bit slow, it's not going to test them that much, but I think it's going to be at least interesting to try them out. Maybe as a way to play aggressive troop deck, and maybe what like troop world eaters would like to be, because I don't think world eaters as troop faction is that good, but I think they can be, like, so especially for the 3 drops and the 2 drops, they are really good. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the new Space Wolves, and see you guys next time.